Where do you hope music will go from here in general?
Personally, I would like to see the majority of music coming out being about people's own stories. Pop culture in general, with people posting their own home movies on YouTube and everyone's got a blog and everyone's having their say. There's so much music out there which just, to me, I hear it and I can just tell that it's people, the artists are more concerned about making it. But I would like to see it become the music that is the fabric of our popular culture.
I see kind of a trend just from being on the promotion side with technology today. People are making their own music and they're creating their own studios and they're able to use that technology to put their art out there. And I think I'd like to see more of that because it also allows people who don't have a really big budget to be able to put their music out there and get it out there to the world, like MySpace. I mean, how many bands have been discovered because of MySpace? Music is gonna go more digital because even from a promotion side, I don't get that many physical promos anymore, the hard copy CDs. Most labels are trying to cut costs by providing digital downloads.
The biggest challenge for me playing live is just to make sure that you're confident, I think, and clear.
Are there any particular techniques that you utilize when you play live?
With my group, Spiraling, I'm also the lead singer, and I had to figure out a way that I could be the front person of the band at the same time and not be hidden behind a massive wall of gear. I finagled all these stands so my keyboard is angled towards the audience, and that's something that a few players have done since the 1960s actually. I actually got the idea from an old Farfisa organ catalog. What I wanted to do was have it something where I would get the same technique I would have if I was sitting at a piano, physically, and also so the audience could actually see musical instrument being played.
Any particular practice habits that you pursue to keep, your chops?
I just try to stretch. Just holding your hand out like that, I'm not giving any medical advice here, but it's interesting that I didn't do that for a while. When I went to college, I started practicing 4 or 5 hours a day, and I hurt myself. I was able to play for a little while.
In my initial stages, moving from playing piano to synthesizer, hurt myself until I realized I could actually program velocity, sensitivity, and so on and so forth on the synth. I was actually hitting it way too hard. Non-weighted keys versus the piano keys.
That happens so often with us being the keyboard players of the universe. It's because when you play a piano, you feel a vibration. To your brain, you feel that you're playing an instrument, but with a synth, the sound is coming from somewhere else, and there's this disconnected experience. It's a subtle thing, but I think it has an impact, because when we don't feel music coming from this instrument, we push harder. And before you know it, we're not paying attention to our technique. I've done everything from putting speakers on the keyboard itself just so I could feel a vibration. Mogfest 2007. We met you too.
Oh, wow. Small world.
You have to get in a groove of sort of practicing and developing the material to arranging it, and then the lyrics. So I have recorders everywhere. And that became something I had to practice when I had an idea, not just think, oh, this is great, I'll remember it all the time. No, go record it, and then before you know it, you have this big archive.
I don't think there's any formula to practicing or writing or anything. I think it depends on the type of person. You could be the type of person who's more creative under pressure, or you could be the type of person who's more creative when you can just do it on your own leisure. I think those people who don't have as much of the natural talent have to practice more. I say that because I'm one of those people.
If you love to improvise, you'll gravitate towards working with that. If you love to play all the time and it has a spirit of play, you'll play all the time. If it feels like work, it'll be work.
A lot of people try to fathom the musician, the creative person. They can't understand how you could be doing something that requires so much imagination, and yet the ability to knuckle down and do very factual things.
A professional musician, like you said, creates everything. There's just a struggle between the two sides of the brain. The abstract side is very present in creating the music. The analytical side is corralling it all, arranging it, and like you said, doing programming. A lot of musicians are producing their own work and running their own businesses. It can be a trap. At the end of the day, never underestimate a person's desire to be heard.
I come from the business side of music. I say to them, I'm not going to tread on, you know, your creativity and what you want to do with the music. When it comes to the business side, I might provide some advice, what would work for what we're trying to do. The thing I like about progressive music is because it is so kind of underground in a way that it allows you to do a little bit more with the promotion and the, you know, the creativity behind the music and even the output of it, the artwork, and because you don't have to confine to those really large corporate labels dictating what it is that you can do with your music.